Welcome to the Hudson Show. Coming up, if you carry an emergency pair of underwear, you're not alone.
Also, why the Zuck Daddy doesn't want to pay his fact checkers anymore.
All that and more on the way next. Unfortunately, I do have to be the bearer of some bad news. And that is that a couple of flavors of Girl Scout cookies are about to go away. Before you get too upset, first of all, you do have this final Girl Scout cookie season to say goodbye to your favorites. And two, they're probably not your favorites. The two flavors that are going away are s'mores and Toast Yay. I didn't even know they made a s'mores flavor.
I knew they had the s'mores. I've definitely never heard of the Toast Yay.
I've heard of Toast Yay, but I think they're like one of the very, very bland flavors of Girl Scout cookies. Either way, who is getting excited about these ones? It's no surprise that they're falling by the wayside when there's so much better options. I'm not the type of person that likes Samoa cookies because that's a lot of coconut.
Yeah.
But I understand why people do like those. That's much more exciting than a s'mores cookie.
Maybe. I mean, I know some people that definitely liked the s'mores cookies. I guess I don't eat Girl Scout cookies enough to be like, yep, this is what I need, and then don't take it away or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't have any type of attachment. But I do know some people that liked the s'mores. But again, I had never heard anyone speak of the Toast Yay, and I have not tried the Toast Yay.
I think I remember the Toast Yay only because that has a weird name.
Yeah.
Then I've always wondered about the Toast Yay name. Is that supposed to be like a pun? Like, is there something I'm not getting?
It's apparently supposed to be French.
For toast?
I don't know.
Is that how they say toast? Would you like some Toast Yay? That was horrible.
Sound French
that wasn't French at all, was it? No, you'd think as a Canadian I'd have a better French impression.
Yeah.
Sacre bleu. We're out of Toast Yay. Was that better?
Maybe the very, very beginning.
I think if you start...
Like the first syllable.
You have to get off to a good start. For any accent, you need to start with something that sounds like that accent, and then that will carry the rest of what you say.
Yeah.
Is a theory I have.
Well, it sounded more like you were trying to be like a vampire, like, I've come to suck your blood.
Either way, the Toast Yay and the s'mores are going away now. They are going to be around for this Girl Scout cookie season, which I guess is just about to get started.
Yeah, it started yesterday.
Yesterday was the first day.
Yeah.
Girl Scout cookie season always catches me off guard. And I don't understand, like, for the Girl Scouts, they could sell cookies any time of year, right?
Yeah.
If it started yesterday, why? Why yesterday?
I have no idea.
Right? Why, as a Girl Scout, they seem to be doing fine, but it's a strange business model. You don't sell your cookies all year round. You start selling them right after New Year's when people are on their resolutions to either save money and not buy overpriced cookies or try to lose weight and eat better and not eat very unhealthy cookies.
Right.
And you start it in the dead of winter when you're going to be either going door to door or standing outside a Walmart in the cold. Why? It makes no sense to me.
I don't think they stand out, in the Walmart parking lot or whatever for a while. I don't think that will happen.
How long is Girl Scout cookie season? How long do we have to buy these cookies? These Toast Jays before they leave?
I wasn't a part of Girl Scouts, so I don't know. But something tells me it goes through the summer because I feel like that's when you actually do see them out at the supermarket or something. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long that goes, and we'll see. They do have a new cookie called like the Adventureful or something like that, so that one's staying. But they haven't announced if they're coming out with any new flavors to replace these ones.
Yeah, so. It's true that in the recent years they went, I think, a long time without putting out any new cookies. Yeah, and then the last couple of years they I remember a raspberry one that was new, and like maybe another one or two. So. You can't just keep around all these flavors. Some are dragging the Girl Scout cookie brand down. Right. Apparently it was Toast Jays and s'mores. But no longer. This is your last chance, so say goodbye to those. Meta has announced. Meta, of course, the owners, the operators of Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, that they are going to get rid of their third-party fact checkers for posts on the platforms, instead replacing it with a community notes program similar to what you would see on X/Twitter. Some call it X. I still call it Twitter. Where, that it's just kind of left up to other users of the site, of the app, to check things that they think are problematic, that are untrue, or just need some context. And they just let users do that and add that on. And that's now what Facebook and Instagram and so forth are going to be going with as well. So you can say whatever you want.
I don't know if it means that. I think they still do have community guidelines, obviously, and will adhere to those. But yeah, this is an interesting move. I feel like Zuckerberg's undergone a little bit of a he has a character arc, if you will,
Yeah.
like we always kind of see him as far away from us, but I just feel like as you've watched him over maybe the past 10 years or so, since maybe the 2016 election, when we saw kind of, foreign countries getting involved with some type of like trying to manipulate the social media aspect of elections.
Yeah.
I think you've seen him kind of go through this arc of like, he started off as very like, strong on a topic like this, and now he's slowly kind of inched in a different direction. So it's interesting to kind of view how he's changed over the past 10 or so years. I guess that's more like 9 years, but it's interesting to see how he's changed on his own opinions.
Well, I wonder if it's as much him, or if it's just, or if it's personal, or if it's just as much, I just want to follow, like, whatever the rules are that are set, like, sometimes, what is set, how much liability these sites carry for what people say on the sites is in question.
Yeah.
Of like, can Facebook be held accountable if something goes wrong on there, but it was posted by somebody on Facebook? And so he's kind of just following that and trying to keep Facebook from being, and Instagram as well, being kept from being brought down by that, because having, any platform that's just open to anybody is going to have people that say insane things, and you don't want to be held responsible for that. Realistically, though, as far as Facebook is concerned, and Instagram and any site, it makes sense. Why would you pay a company or third-party fact checkers? Why would you pay them when people are more than willing? People spend way too much time on these sites, and when they see something they disagree with, they're more than willing to say, let me report this.
Yeah.
This post needs some added context. Let me chime in.
Yeah,
Mr. Wikipedia Brown getting involved in, what somebody said on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. And realistically, who pays attention? Like, if you see a post on Facebook or Twitter and you're like, either you reflexively go, oh, I don't know about that, or you go, that's a good point. And you do not, who actually pays attention to the community notes anyways?
I mean, I'm not on X anymore, really, so I don't go through and scroll and see those type of community notes. I had seen the Facebook, fact checking stuff come up before, where it's like, this post is missing context or whatever. Like they would, put it beneath the post, and so it was like a little red flag for you, like, oh no. So I remember that, but yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like you may start to see also some pushback as far as like people reporting posts, and it's like they're just trying to be malicious versus actually having an intent of like the truth getting out there. So it's always tough on social media when you're dealing with people that disagree with one another. Yeah,
that's what I just think. As much as we want to try to do something about it, I just don't know that that X or Twitter or anybody can be really put in charge of assuring that misinformation doesn't actually get out, because it's so hard to police that.
Right.
And then the people that, like, if you get community noted now, who's to say that you're not going to be like, that's going to be a badge of honor? You're going to be like, see, look, this is what the public doesn't want you to know. Yeah. And that's why they put this little context thing, it's fueling the flames of the culture war. If you want to post nonsense, you're always going to, I feel like you're always going to be able to post it somewhere, and there's going to be people that are going to listen. I wish there wasn't, I wish in some cases it wasn't able to be given such a big platform, but I just feel, They're trying to do what they can.
Yeah.
I just know that they can do a lot.
I do know one thing, though. This makes sense for Facebook or Meta overall. You know why? As you said, they don't have to pay a third party anymore.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Marky Zuckerberg is saving himself some money.
As if he needs to. You know, coming up later this year, did you know there's a new Karate Kid movie coming out?
I did not know that.
Yeah. It's called Karate Kid Legends.
Oh, I may have seen something about that, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, Jackie Chan's in it.
Okay.
Ralph Macchio.
Oh.
You know, from the original Karate Kid and also Cobra Kai, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, May 30th. It's exciting.
Oh, so that's soon.
This year. Yeah, this spring.
Okay.
Have you ever heard this theory about the Karate Kid, that the Karate Kid ruined America?
I have not, because I disagree with that theory. I love the Karate Kid.
Wait till you hear it, though.
Okay, sure. Yeah, give me the argument.
The Karate Kid and the Rocky movies, and many other movies, particularly of that time.
Okay.
Because they would show, like, you're the Karate Kid, right? And you know not very much about karate at all. And then you get through a couple minute montage, and then all of a sudden you know, like, now you're a karate expert and you can win. And so the idea is that gave a lot of people the impression, young, impressionable youngsters growing up watching those movies, that, that you don't have to go through a lot of hard work and time and pain and effort to become good at something. It just kind of happens pretty quickly.
So what, they wanted the Karate Kid movie to be like 8 hours long to show more of him getting ready? Well,
maybe it should have been a series, and the first one was just him training the entire time.
So exciting. Him getting beat up by Johnny and his little goon friends, and then him just training. I don't know about that.
I feel like that's what they did with Dune. I feel like the first Dune, I feel like that's the first Dune movie.
I mean, those books are very long, so I understand why they had to break those ones up. But yeah,
but
I don't agree with this premise.
Some minds may have been poisoned by the idea that it doesn't take as much effort. That it's just you're really not being shown the effort in shows and movies that needs to go into becoming good at something. Either you just start the movie as being good at something, or you become good at it very quickly. And all the painstaking process that goes into, in real life, realistically becoming really good at something, accomplishing something, is a lot of times chopped out, because you're right, that would make it much longer and more boring.
Right.
And that's the tough thing about life, is that getting good at something involves probably a lot of routine, a lot of boring training, or think about your New Year's resolution, getting in shape. It involves, it's not just a quick montage of you going to the gym. You have to go every day, and it's not fun. But that's how accomplishments happen. Change in life. If you want to bring about change in your life, if there's things that you wish were better about you as a person, or about your circumstance or whatever, it usually doesn't just instantly change. It's not a quick montage until after the fact, if you filmed it all, and then you can chop it all up. But in real life, it takes time, and it takes a lot of effort, and that's hard. And if you're not ready for that, you're probably going to wind up failing. But what does the Karate Kid have that we all need?
He has an amazing sensei.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's where I was going. Mr. Miyagi. That's what we all need, is a trainer to get us through, to teach us the skills we need, and to motivate us and keep us going on the right track to get to the accomplishments we want to do. And that's what God can be for you. God is ready to be there with you and train with you every single day, not just for the 5-minute montage, but for all of the effort and all of the time it takes to make a difference in life. Jesus wants to help you through that. And it's not easy, but he'll do it with you. And if you want to know more about that, or you're ready to start on that path, start talking to God about it. Say, hey, Jesus, I need some help. I'm ready to actually make a change. I usually start and wind up experiencing some kind of effort shock a couple times in, and I'm ready to push past that.
Yeah.
I want you to help me, and he will. If you want to know more, RadioU.com/free gift. I heard Sparkle talking about this yesterday. She comes after us here on Radio U. She found out, as she saw this survey, that apparently about half of Americans carry a backup emergency pair of underwear at all times.
Oh.
And I'll echo her sentiments. I have so many questions.
Okay.
My top question is where? Where are you carrying a spare pair of underwear? For all of us guys, it's not like we don't have anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like purses and things of that nature have become less and less common with women too. So where are you keeping your spare pair of underwear just for emergency occasions?
I think that is a valid question. I have been a person that has done this a time or two.
You carry a backup underwear?
Not on an everyday basis. But if I know that I'm going to be out of the home for a long time, like let's say like the whole day or something, sometimes I will bring like a change of clothes or something with me, because I'll be like, oh, I don't want to be in that outfit all day. Like let's say I'm going to an event or something and I have to dress up for it. I want a change of clothes afterwards.
Sure.
So I've been in that situation where I have had, I guess, a spare pair, but I don't usually think about carrying that with me.
And that's not as much an emergency. That's not emergency underwear.
Yeah, that's more just pre-planning.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But they do mention in the survey that a lot of people do. The reason they gave for carrying a spare pair of underwear was that they were planning to change later in the day.
Oh, yeah.
So they counted it as a valid reason.
I feel like that's very hygienic.
Okay, yeah.
You know, don't you think? Like that's really going above and beyond to make sure that, and you don't want to take any chances if it's an important situation. You don't want to, I changed my pants, I put on a nice outfit, but I've been wearing my underwear for a long time and I don't know, maybe it gets a little funky. I don't think that's ever happened to me, but you can't be too careful.
It's a little funky.
You can't be too careful. Sure. One of the other reasons it says is that they're likely to have an accident. That was the top reason.
Okay. I mean, Hudson, we can't shame people.
It's a lot of people saying they're likely to have an accident, though.
I mean, I don't think it's 50% of Americans saying that. I think there's a certain amount of people in the survey that said that they, were carrying it because of that. I think it was like 39%.
A lot of people, almost half say they're carrying spare underwear, and then almost half of that said in case they're likely to have an accident. That's a high percentage.
I mean, it's high, but I just feel like there's things that's going on that's you can't question. Well, you can't,
I'm not shaming anybody.
Right.
In fact, I feel like maybe this should almost be like empowering to people.
Yes.
That maybe you feel like you're the only one that carries a spare pair of underwear because you're likely to have an accident. But based off of these numbers, look to the left of you, look to the right. I feel like the odds are somebody else also has a spare pair of underwear because they're likely to have an accident too.
Right. Well, I don't know how the gender breakdown of the survey was. They said it was equal in gender.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that impacted, like as far as how many women say they do and how many men say they do. I didn't see that stat. But I do.
We only have the top line numbers.
Right. We do. We only have the numbers that show how many. But I do feel like for women, we do carry a lot of extra stuff with us in our bags just in case.
You never know.
Because of biological reasons.
Sure. I think that could explain a lot. I also think, though, as a man and a woman in most occasions, that if you run into a situation where you do need the emergency pair of underwear, you don't need an emergency pair of underwear. You just need to go home. You shouldn't be out.
Hudson, I thought you said you weren't going to shame people.
I'm not shaming, but if I'm just saying, I'll just admit it. I don't carry one. I don't carry a backup pair of underwear.
You don't just admit it.
One, I trust myself, but if it comes down to it, and I have some kind of situation where I need a backup pair of underwear, then I just want to go home. I don't want to have to go change my underwear and then go back to what I was doing. I want to go home and reset, get a night of sleep, and come back the next day.
You need to sleep on it.
I need a fresh start. I don't need a fresh pair of underwear.
You're like, I gotta get in the shower. I gotta start all over again.
I needed a spare pair of underwear. The underwear itself isn't going to cut it. Let's just put it that way.
I mean,
unfortunately, I've never run into that. Okay. The collaboration you didn't know you needed is coming to a Krispy Kreme near you. It feels like the two brands that just are so desperate for the spotlight right now. One is Krispy Kreme. Mm-hmm. So desperate. They're always putting out collaborations like this and also collaborating with McDonald's to be at McDonald's now. And then Pop-Tarts. Mm-hmm. So desperate for attention that they've come up with their own bowl game with sexy Pop-Tarts stripping on the field and stuff like that. It's amazing. And now they're working together, hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
Krispy Kreme Pop-Tarts donuts are now available in 3 new flavors.
Interesting. I mean, obviously, we're talking about this because we have to do a food fight for it.
We will need to do this.
Yeah.
We will need to taste the new Pop-Tarts donuts from Krispy Kreme. Now, without disregarding what the actual flavors are, what is your favorite of Pop-Tart? I mean, disregarding what the flavors of the donuts are.
Yeah, I think strawberry or also the traditional chocolate.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then you're going to be very satisfied.
Oh.
Because first you've got 2 of the 3 flavors of the donuts right there, which makes sense. They're going with the classic.
Yeah.
They're doing a Pop-Tarts frosted strawberry donut at Krispy Kreme, which is filled with strawberry filling, dipped in shortbread icing. I don't even know what that means. And topped with shortbread pieces, sugar sprinkles, and a drizzle of strawberry filling, and a Pop-Tarts bite that's strawberry flavored on top as well. Then
I think I'll like that one.
The chocolatey fudge version is dipped in chocolate icing, topped with brownie flavored buttercream, as well as Pop-Tarts bites pieces. And then they also have the other classic Pop-Tart flavor, brown sugar cinnamon, which is a cinnamon sugar donut topped with brown sugar cinnamon, cream cheese flavored buttercream, and a frosted cinnamon roll Pop-Tarts bites piece.
Nice.
I always enjoyed the brown sugar cinnamon the most.
I was going to say, was that your flavor?
That was my go-to, although I'll tell you now, I don't know if they still make them because I really don't eat Pop-Tarts.
I don't either.
But the Eggo collaboration.
Oh.
The Eggo Pop-Tarts are excellent.
So, literally Pop-Tart is collaborating with everybody, clearly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't eaten a Pop-Tart since I was probably in middle school, I would say. As I've mentioned in the past, I grew up overseas, so I didn't really have Pop-Tarts that much.
That hadn't made its way to Zambia?
Not at the time. I don't know if it's there now, but so anytime I did have Pop-Tarts, it was whenever we were visiting the U.S., so it wasn't very often. But like I said, I remember enjoying the strawberry and the chocolate.
To me, I would think that would make you have even fonder memories. It's like it was a treat.
Oh, yeah. So, distance makes the heart grow fonder type of deal.
Scarcity, the further away from a relationship you are. Type thing.
The better it seems.
Yeah, the better it's remembered. So, I don't know. I mean, we have to try these.
Yes.
So we will work on that. We do have Cheetos, Cheese Pizza Cheetos scheduled as our next food fight on the Hudson Show. And then after that, we will get to the Pop-Tarts Krispy Kremes for sure.
Yeah.
Find all of our food fights there on the Hudson RadioU YouTube channel. Check that out so you never miss any of them. The Would You Rather Wednesday question for today is, would you rather get 15 snow days in a school year, but you'd have to stay in school all the way until July 4th, or get no snow days at all for the year, but you'd be out before Memorial Day? 8772 RadioU if you've got thoughts on this. Regina says, I guess I'll go snow days because our superintendent almost never canceled school. And that's how I learned to drive in the snow. I narrowly avoided hitting the college bus as I tried to stop on a hill on my street one day. I wasn't even going fast. It was just solid ice. Been there.
Yep, that's not fun.
Trying to maneuver in the snow. It can be dangerous, of course. But either way, she says she was happy, I guess, learning to drive in the snow and not getting snow days.
Okay.
D says, I live in Texas. We barely get 1 or 2 snow days a year. It's really just because of ice. Let's just keep it the way it is.
Okay.
So she says she's fine with getting out of school whenever.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
So I really didn't experience snow days until I came until I started college, because obviously, like I said in the last break, I grew up overseas. We did not have snow in Zambia, Africa. So that was kind of my first experience of it, was in college. And I remember my sophomore year, we ended up getting some really bad snowstorms in Mount Vernon area of Ohio, where I was in college. And so we did get like several snow days in a row, which was so fun. But also, I think of a long summer break, you can't get better than that. I did do some fun trips during summer break sometimes. Like I went home and visited Zambia one of my summer breaks. So I think I'd go for the longer summer break.
Yeah, I think as a child, I would prefer the snow days. Because
it's that nice surprise.
The unexpected day off would feel so good, especially if you kind of already knew, like if we get snow days, we're going to be until July 4th. I feel like you'd just be okay. You know, like if they didn't just spring that on you once you thought you were about to end school, then it's like, well, actually, we need to add a month on. So I think I'd take the snow days as a kid, but now as an adult, the longer the summer, like the longer the break you can have feels the better.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm leaning towards taking the no snow days, you know, and when you work, you get used to not having snow. You get used to just having to work every day.
Right.
And so those breaks, those long times off feel even better.
Yeah.
We did hear Noah, who says, I'm taking no snow days. I'd rather enjoy a longer summer without having to worry about school at all.
Yep. That sounds like a nice little chunk of time to just be chilling at home.
Yeah. So that
to be a kid again.
Yeah, really. You know what? I just like to go back either way. To where we get fun days off.
It's fun days off, no stress, no anxiety.
Yeah. Tubi? You have Tubi?
I don't, but is it like free?
Yeah, it's free. It's a free streaming app. They've actually I use Tubi. It's free. It's ad supported, but they actually have decent stuff on there from time to time.
Okay, yeah.
Sometimes you'll have an idea of a random movie you want to watch, and then look where it is. It's on Tubi. But that said, they also, just to fill a streaming service, have some absolute nonsense on there. In this case, they have made headlines because there's a new movie on Tubi. It's called African American Psycho, the Hip Hop Freak. And some have speculated that it is based off of the current story that's been going around, the controversy with Diddy. Sean P Diddy, Puff Daddy Combs. It's really, this movie has really invited controversy, invited people thinking that it's that it's based off of P Diddy, because the star of the movie, or the focus of the movie, is literally named B City. So right off the bat there, you're like, wow, what are the other characters in the movie named? You know, it's just really it's inviting itself to be compared to the current Diddy situation.
Yeah, it really is. Obviously, it's a play on American Psycho, you know, the whole Patrick Bateman thing, you know, with Christian Bale. But someone posted a video of, when the classic scene from American Psycho, when he turns on Huey Lewis in the News and he's kind of dancing around, and then he's got the axe and he, goes to the head with Jared Leto.
Yeah.
And it's their version of that scene, and it is unhinged.
Yeah. I mean, there's no chances it's good.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. And it does, if it is based off of P. Diddy and what's going on with him right now, it does beg the question too, is too soon?
Right. I'm like, how quickly did they make this?
Yes, not just too soon, as in, is it insensitive, but also too soon, like, the P. Diddy thing is just now, like, it's only been making its way through the headlines for the last couple
months. Yeah, at the most.
I know there's been lots of whispers of people saying now, like, oh yeah, I knew about this long, long ago. But, like, it's only been in the public eye very recently.
I'm sorry, this thing's playing in the background of this guy's, like, Boys to Menning down the stairway. It's so crazy.
That said, though, like, if you're going to make a bad movie, at least make a bad, I guess, like, the best way you can get some kind of life out of your bad movie is by making it off of something that's going on right now. And maybe also playing off a movie that was very popular in its day.
That's kind
of what they did,
right? And that's how what is it? The channel that's stayed around for way too Lifetime. That's how they've succeeded. Mm-hmm. They make their movies about popular things where you're like, it's either based on a true story or they do a movie about, some ripoff of like, what was it recently? Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's relationship.
Yeah.
So that's very similar to this. You did?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, we're going to have to talk about that.
Well, I don't know if there's much to talk about besides that it's bad, but it's not like bad enough to really be funny.
Yeah, not so bad that it's good.
Yeah, and not good enough to just watch.
Yeah.
So it kind of felt like a waste of time, actually. There is some like really bad like football where they're trying to write football stuff they didn't really understand. But another day, another pickle trend that has gone around on social media, on TikTok and elsewhere, where people just seem to not be able to get enough of pickles, but they also just can't have pickles. Like pickles on their own just aren't good enough anymore. Now it's gotten to the point where the new trend is called glickles, which is literally you've got a jar of pickles and you load it up with edible glitter, shake it around, get an even coating of the edible glitter, and then now you've got a pretty pickle.
I don't like that at all.
A pretty pickle, a glickle.
A glickle.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, the name is kind of interesting, but edible glitter?
You've never heard of it? Oh, yeah.
I've not heard of that.
That's if you go to like some certain coffee shops and stuff like that too. Yeah, because so much of if you go back.
I don't go to coffee shops, Hudson.
So many, like drinks that baristas would make or whatever. Like maybe you drink it because you like it, or maybe you just buy it because you want to post a picture of you with it on Instagram. And so edible glitter became a thing with that, and I'm sure with other drinks too that I don't even know about. But and then you can put it on cookies. Like
I mean, it does kind of look like very fine sprinkles.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And now people are coating their pickles in it, which does make them look much more aesthetically pleasing. It makes them look much tastier than I believe they actually would be.
But is it aesthetic? Because I do feel like whenever you have glitter involved, glitter ends up everywhere.
Yeah. So, I don't know if edible glitter is the same way, though.
Maybe not, yeah.
I think it might not be as harmful to everything around you.
Doesn't end up attaching itself to everything.
But it's really an obscene amount of glitter, too. Like, I don't really know if edible glitter even has a taste, but if it does, I can't imagine that would taste very good.
Yeah, they're just pouring it in there. So this is it's an interesting look for sure.
I hate to be the one to mention this, but you have to imagine, like, what does edible glitter look like once it's been edibled?
Once it's making its way downtown.
Once it's gone through the entire process. What does that do to what does your toilet look like after you eat a glickle?
Like a disco bowl.
Yeah, like that might be that should be a part of the video, like documenting that
the
as well.
Aftermath.
Because have you seen the people that post videos of them cleaning the toilets, but they do it like in a pretty way? Have you seen that?
I have not.
There's a term for that too.
Okay.
I hesitate to say look that up, but it's a whole thing on Clean Talk of like putting all these different colors in your toilet as you scrub it and whatever, and making that an aesthetic. And so this could just roll right into that.
I mean, I've heard of like the cleaning stuff going viral. Like people just enjoy watching people clean their homes for whatever reason. And so I've heard of that, but I didn't know they were doing all sorts of funky colors.
I just made the connection of like you're eating glittery pickles, glickles, and so you're eating all this edible glitter. Like you're like a unicorn when it's all said and done. Do you remember this, Allie, when MoviePass was a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it goes back to, 2017. It's been a long time now.
Yeah, that's been almost 10 years, almost.
8 years ago, one of the great summers of all time. And it was thanks in part to Ted Farnsworth, who was the CEO of MoviePass at the time, he just pleaded guilty to fraud charges after he has admitted that he may have defrauded investors during his time with MoviePass. That letting people pay $9.95 a month, we're talking $9.95 a month for unlimited movie tickets, may not have been a very good business model to get investors in on.
I mean, the thought of it now is insane. Obviously, it was crazy back in 2017, but it's worse even now because it's like our movie tickets are more than that for just one film.
Most movie theaters don't even offer a ticket to anything for $9.95.
Exactly, unless you're going on like a Tuesday when they're doing their deals, and even those have gotten more and more expensive now.
Yeah.
So, that... It's no surprise that was not a great move for him.
Yeah, it is. It makes sense. He did. I guess it's a crime. So I guess I'm glad that he is going to face his comeuppance. But at the same time, I just want to say thank you to him for what he did for me and so many others that summer. That was one of the great summers of all time for us movie lovers. And we saw so many movies that we wouldn't have seen otherwise. So great for the movie industry probably as well.
Yeah.
Just not great for the investors.
No.
Not great for them at all. Yeah, it's crazy, though. It is crazy to think because it was $9.95. And then it says here, the price went down. They, at some points, were letting people pay $6.95 a month for unlimited movie tickets. You could buy one ticket to a movie per day. And then what you could do was like, if you were like, obviously for most people, you're not going to go to the movies every day.
Yeah.
But maybe you and 4 friends want to go on Saturday. And so Tuesday you'd buy a ticket for you. Wednesday you'd buy a ticket for that. Like you could just buy them ahead of time. And we really, oh man. Was it wrong what we did? Because we weren't breaking any rules.
You weren't breaking any rules. You're just taking advantage of the deal that was given.
And then now, like I went to the movies recently and they're pumping up because, in response to this, because it was so popular, many movie theater chains made their own versions of MoviePass that are obviously couldn't possibly be anywhere near as good.
No.
But they try. But the one at the theater I went to, they were advertising it's like $20 a month gets you access to one movie per month. I was like, is this a joke? One movie per month plus 10% off concessions.
Really?
Yeah,
That's it?
And I think, you could get you could buy tickets to additional movies for cheaper than they would be at face value, but it was still $10 a movie, which obviously is a discount on an average movie ticket.
But I thought you were going to say they'd allow you to get into like 4 movies a month for $20.
We did the math on it after we saw the ad because we all thought it was so funny that went. And we did figure out, like, actually, you probably only need to see like 2 movies a month to make that deal worthwhile. But it's still so ridiculous. $20 a month for 1 movie a month.
Yeah, that just doesn't sound appealing at all.
Yeah, they need to at least work on their pitch, I think, on that one. But hey, there will never be another pitch as good as MoviePass.
Nope.
It will never happen. Thanks for listening to The Hudson Show. Please don't forget to rate and review the podcast.